Hello friend, today we are going to build awesome digital clock app. In this app, you saw we have a code section. Okay? Whenever we click this refresh button, it's refresh the code and get new codes every time when click on this and its author. Okay? We are doing this with fetching API. Okay, and we have also this time sections in which we dynamically browse this time. Okay, and this is also days, month, date, current. Then we have one more section, that is if we click on more, we have few little more information about the days. Okay, then we click this, it's gone, and it is responsive. So whenever I go through responsive, just take a look. This is mobile sections, how it's look on mobile. There we go, we have this, there we go, and laptop sections, tablet section also. Okay, that's awesome. Okay, so let's build this together. Jump on Visual Studio Code. Here we are. We have an open folder. Let's name it Digital Clock App. You can give it whatever you want. Then we go on terminal, new terminal, and here we type npx create React app. And I want to download in this folder, so I write this. If you name the folder you want, just write down here. And it's installing. So it's take time to install. There we go, it is installing. Here is the package JSON and it's creating its packages. There we go, here is installing. So let's install this. There we go, our React app installed. Now we have our files. Let's clean up. That's what we don't need. This one, this one, this one, so this one and this one also. Let's delete this. Now we have just get rid of this. Okay, and now we want here, just give it a simple h1. Hello world, or save it and go index.js. We also want to get rid of this and this also, index.css also. Okay, let's save it and also delete this. Don't want this anymore. Just get out to clear this. And we want index.html. Clean up these comments, not that side. Okay, we want this link of manifest and fav icon to hide, and we also want to hide this. Okay, now just give it a name. I'm giving a digital digital clock app. Wait, let's save it. And now we type here in terminal npm start. Okay, and it's take us to the browsers where we saw our app.js. Okay, it's saying that you are already running a port 300, so I want to use another port, so yes. So we are going on. There we go, our h1 of app.js. Hello world. Let's build our first. Let's see what we build. Then we have a codes component and this bottom component, which is I think clock component, and this also we have a panel component. So let's first build this code components. Let's get started. So firstly we change our favicon. Okay, for this we need a icon. I'm gonna paste it here, my icon. Okay, I'm gonna paste it here right now. That is, here we have got it. Clock touch iconics. That there it is. You can saw this little icon we use. So for this icon, we go in here and link, then not a style set. In rel we type shortcut shortcut icon. Okay, and in href we give it path of this icon. Okay, path of this icon. Let's give it a what we have, dot slash clock icon, and type we give it of image slash x dash icon. Okay, here we go, and we saw on browsers. So let's see. There we go. We have this little icon here in this bar. Okay, that is a favicon. So you know how to set favicon. So here I paste the assets folder in src. In this folder we have a svg folder which consists of moon.svg, refresh.svg and sun.svg. Okay, further we use this. Now let's create our components. Okay, for the component we go in src and we create a folder called components. In components we create a new folder. Then we want what? Codes folder. In codes folder we create a file of codes.jsx and also create a file of codes.scss, but we haven't installed SAS file. So in browser we are going to install SAS file. So in digital clock app we type npm install SAS and this install packages of SAS so we can use in React app. It's installed. So it's installed. So how we can show that it's installed? So we can go on package.json. There it is SAS. In dependency we saw SAS version 1.57.1. So let's in codes.jsx. Sorry. So we give it .code and we also import our SAS file. Save it. And we want background image. So for background image, we set app.jsx. And for app.jsx, we create a file of app.scss in src. And we link this app.jsx import dot slash app.scss. Okay. For this app.scss, give it here. We have a class of app. So here we this margin 0, padding 0, box sizing, border box, and now we have a class of app. We give it width of 100%, height of 100 ph, and we use background URL and give it a URL. Give it a random image for our UI design. Later we go on functionality. So give it a background image and background size, cover, background position, center, and background repeat, no repeat. Okay. Then we have give it a position of relative. So in app, in app we add after content empty string, and now we position it, position absolute, top 0, top 0, left 0. What we want width of 100%, height of 100%, and we want a background, we want background of RGB. Okay, and we give it a alpha value. So we give it alpha value of 0.4. Okay, 0.4. What it does, let's just take a look on browser. Now here we have now we style our app and we give our background image. Then we come to codes. We design our codes parts. So firstly, to show our codes, we have to import codes component in app.jsx. So we import this codes, and here it's imported. Okay. If you not get this imported, you do manually. Okay, let's save it and go in codes.jsx, and here we create our codes. Okay, codes, give it a class of code, which is a container, and codes. Now in codes we have two parts. One part is a code and other is its author. So we give it a class of top. Okay, and then top we have top. Okay, okay. Then other part is called author. Okay, in top we have codes. So let's give it a h4 and class name will be code, and here we give a random code, random code for now. Then we go and grab our API. So for now we give it a random code, for example anything we want. Let me give it a, what we give anything. For let's take example codes. Okay, now after this code we have a refresh button. So in assets we have a refresh.svg. So for now, and give it a path dot dot slash. In assets folder we have this svg folder. Then we have which one, refresh refresh.svg. Okay, we grab this, and in this we set a span, and in curly braces we give it as refresh. And for author, now no, we have this code and refresh button. Now we have one thing. After this we have author there. So okay, in authors we have give it a author. What we give, just not give it a div, it's a span. Okay, this span has to be author. So set, for example, edit author. Okay, now let's style this. So first take a look how it's look on website. So we can't see anything because our text is also black and background is also black. So yeah, there it is, and it's not our course image, it's a static. So what we do, so here we, so let's style it. So why we are not seeing our images of refresh, because we give it a span, not a span, it's an image. Then in src we give it a refresh. Okay, and alt something, I refresh img. Okay, let's style it so we can see. For style, let me just check out here. Got it. Let's style it dot quotes. Quotes. In quotes, we have a width of 100%. Width of 100%. Okay, in width of 100%. And let me give it a position. Position of absolute. And top will be 10%. Left will be 10%. Now give it a padding of 30 pixels overall and align item flex start. Okay, align items flex start. And flex direction will be column because we have in quotes we have two container, two child, and one is goat and other is author. So we want on the top of each other. So we give it a flex direction column and gap between them is a 20 pixels. And we want z index of I think 99 is okay, and we want color so white, that is visible. I think let's take a look how it's look. Here we go, our code, refresh button and author. So let's style our clock component. So now we style our codes, and now we have to make another file, not file, another folder for clock. In clock, make a new file of clock.jsx and clock.scss. Okay, let's do what we do. Now there we go. Clock, and we import our SAS file. Import.slash clock.scss. Okay, ready to. So we get close these others and to check. And we have one thing, we want to import this in app.js. Okay, clock component. So it's imported. There we go, clock. And in clock, what we want. So in clock, first get rid of this and to correct it and clock. In clock, we have two sections. In clock, we have two sections. First one is left and second one is right. Right, okay. In left, we have three sections. Dot top, in which we give it a message. Okay, top, center and bottom. In this is center and this is bottom. Okay, now in top what we have, in top we have a simply a image of sun, or let's give a state, let's give a sun. Okay, so firstly we import our svg, import sun for now dot slash asset slash svg slash that query sun dot svg. Okay, for this we give it img in src sun alt sun img. Okay, img, and then we have a p tag in which we say greeting message, good morning. For now we hard coded it. After we design our front parts, then we come to logic. Okay, firstly we hard coded this, then we have a span or it's currently okay. Just take a look how it's look. I think it's not visible because of the color. Here we go. Where it is here. There it is. Our SVG icon, SVG image, and good morning, and it's currently. So basically, we look our final project how it is site. So we build this SVG image and this greeting message in a top, and in center we time, and bottom this location. This is in a left part, and this is in a right part. So let's just do our time. So everything for now it's hard coded. So in center we have a span. We give it a class. We hit a time. So basically we give it 14:06. Yeah, 14:12. Anything you want. So after this time we have a p tag in which we write India Standard Time. Okay. Now we come our bottom part. Bottom part it's a in in Noida. It's a static text India. And now we come in right parts. So right parts we have day, month, date, and a button. So in right we have two things. So firstly we have a span. In span we write day. So let's just take example Monday, and the month is January, and the date is just what is today. Today is 4. So 4. Okay. Then we have a button. Then we have a button. Okay. And this button, or say view, this button is say more. Basically more. Okay. And we have an icon. So let's grab this icon. Okay. So now we know our clock component is here, and we want icon for button. To get the icon, we use material UI. In material UI, we come this link, material UI icon, and grab this npm and install it on Visual Studio. So here we go. Come in our terminals and install what we copy. Paste here and press enter. Let's install material UI icon, which we can use it here. It's installing. So it's installed. And one thing also we install, that is Axios. Axios for fetching our data from API. Axios do. It's installed. Now we installed UI icon and Axios. So we can use material icon here. So let me show you how we can use it. There it is. So click on this and click here where we copy and paste it. So we're gonna paste here, and there it is icon, and we want icon here. Okay, there it is. Now we complete our HTML part. We can style it. So okay, let's give us, see, it was a clock, and clock width of 100%, and display flex because we have two items left and right. Okay, justify content space between, then background with transparent. color white, and we positioning it. Position absolute. I think top would be 60%. Here we go. Our clock component is here and here. And we have one more problem. That's overflowing. So it's overflowing. Let's see why it's overflowing. Okay. What? Oh, that's why it's overflowing. So just take out its width property and style our clock component. We are just going code.css and take this out. Okay, only style our CSS. Then we style it and we give it padding. Padding of 10 pixels from the bottom and 150 pixels from left and right. Okay, then we do z index of 99. Okay, then in clock we have two things left and right. So in left and right. Okay, so in left we give flex of 4. Okay, display flex direction column, gap between them is 20 pixels. Now in left we have top, center and bottom. CN to the center and bottom. So in center, now in top, we do display flex because we have three things. Line item center, gap between them is 10 pixels, and width is equal to, I think, 100% of its parent element. Now, we have center. For the center, display flex direction row. No need of flex direction row, display flex, line item center, and line item center. Gap between them is 10 pixels, and we will width of 100%. Okay, now we have bottom in top sections. For bottom, we have what? One thing which is p tag, and we give it a font size of 12 pixels and letter spacing of 0.2. Okay, and top center. Okay, top center. Center has two things: span and padding. Let's start this. Span and padding. Span and paragraph. Okay, for span, we give a font size of, it's a time, so it's big, so 6 now for this p tag we give letter spacing only 0.2. Now let's look also look at one thing, that is right. In right we have a span and button. Okay, in right we have a span and button, so display flex, and we give it here flex of 4 in left, so give here flex of 2. Okay, and flex direction column because we want, and align item flex end. Okay, justify content flex end, and gap between them is 30 pixels. Now in right we have span and button. Then square. Width of 100%. Font size 12 pixel. And I think just align. Give it of in. Now after span we have paragraph tag. No, not paragraph tag. We have button tag. Okay, in button we style our button. Give it a width of 25% of its parent element. Border none. Background color is white. Okay, color is black. Text transform uppercase. Okay, font weight bold. Padding, give it 10 pixels overall padding. Cursor will be pointer and display flex because in this button we have a icon also. And align item, center, justify content displays around 10. Okay, and set index of main index. Okay, let's see how it look. There we are. Right sections and our left section. I think we miss font size of this span, border radius of this button. So let's style little more. Okay, now we give it a border radius of button pixels and not 12 pixels. It is actually 2 RAM. Okay, here we go. That's it's looking awesome. Let's match our final project. It's loading and why this will happen. So yeah, we got it. I think it is similar. Okay, it is similar. Now what we have? We have this panel section. Now we do this panel section when we click on this. Now let's close everything and in component we make a new folder that is called panel. In panel, new file panel.jsx and panel.sss. Let's do the same thing. Input our CSS file. Now go to app.js and import it. No, we don't want here. We want panel in clock.jsx. When we click on this button, we want this panel component will show. Okay, here it is. Now let's build panel. So in panel, what we have? We have two item in panels, left and right, as we saw. Okay, then dot left and right. In left, we have p tag which contain current time zone. Now after this, we have a span. In span, we have location name. What's its location name? Asia, Kolkata. Okay, Kolkata. And after this, we have again p tag, that's day of the year. Okay, let's span tag again, and the day of the year. Let's take the example of it's day number 18. Okay, it's the left section, and we go on right section. So what we have, just copy this and paste it here. Change this content, day of the week, and change of this now there it is. Current time zone, ACR, day of the week, and we have this week number. Everything is here. Let's install this. Let's take a look how it's. There it is, left and right. It's a background color, and its button is change. Okay, let's do it. Okay, let's get in panel.css, then panel. Just give it a rate of 100%. Display flex, align item center. Justify content space between padding of 30 pixels top and bottom, 250 pixels from left and right, background color, and background color is hashtag A7, A6, A6. Okay, after that positioning it, position absolute, bottom, you just a little bit of bottom. Okay, first take a look how it is looking. Okay, then we give from left up 0. Now in panels we have two sections. Okay, that is left and right. Left, and we have right then left. Display flex because I want to reflect direction column, and gap between them is 20 pixels. Now we have in left we have p tag and span. Okay, so let's p tag will be font size of 12 pixels. Color will be let's take 3, and font weight bold. Now after p tag we have a span. In a span we want font size. It's a little bigger than p tag, so 1.5 will have. Okay, color. Sorry, color, and we give it black. Now font weight obviously bold, and we have a right. Do the same thing in right because we have everything same in right. It's just copy and paste it. Let's just take a look. There we go. This is our panel, and now we want to hide it. And when we click more, then it's display. Otherwise, it's hide. So let's just do that. So let it here, and for this we want to use user state. User state open, set open, and currently false. Okay, now we want just import this. Here we import it. Now we want where we want, no, not in here. We want it in this. Just let's just grab it. We don't want it here. Okay, we want it in clock.jsx because here is our button, and when we click on this, this panel will show, so otherwise not. So let's make it here. You just import it. Okay. Now we want add button on click. So when we click on this button, it said open a value of not open. It's just a toggle. Okay. And when it is open, I want when it is open, show me this panel. Otherwise, no. Just have it. Just take a look what we did. So we use state hook for this. Okay? Open, set open. And we add an event of on click on button, which when we click on this button, it set open. It sets the value of open to not open. If it is false, then when we click on this, it's true. So for this, when it is true, means open, then show this. Otherwise, when it false, not show it. Let's take a look, then you understand. Here we are, it is not showing. So when we click on this button, it show. When we not, it's gone. Okay, toggle. Okay. And let's just do one thing. Here we look. If we click this more, it's come from bottom. And the word of the button is changed less and the icon is also changed. Let's do it. So what we have to give it a panel of position bottom. Bottom in minus. We have to give it a bottom of which is we want to give it a bottom of what 47%. Okay. Now we want in clock to change the arrow and change the text value. So for this, we just wrap in curly bracket and just give it here. If our panel is open, then show me just wrap in it this and this, and we want to copy this button, paste it here. If we are open, then we say to this button, show me less. Okay, and there is more if we not open more. And let's just change this arrow. For this arrow, we have to grab this arrow. Okay, let's just do the fucking things. There we are. Okay, just grab this icon from Material UI, and when we are open, then just show this. Now, what we do here, just take a look. We add curly bracket and set to if else condition. We actually set if else condition. Okay, so open. If there is open, then show me this button which says less and this icon. Otherwise, show me this. Okay, let's just look. Here we are. Now, when we click on this, it just appear and the change in this less and more and then icon also change. Okay. Now we want a transition, little effect here. Okay. For this effect, we use. So for this effect, we use in panel animation. Okay. So for animation, let's just change a little bit. Just 40. So just 50%. Okay. Give it a animation name. Okay. Animation name of anime. Okay. And animation duration of 0.4 second. Now we want at the rate give from identifier. Just give it a name of this. Okay. animate. Now what we do, from just we want top, no, not top, bottom minus 100% and opacity will be 0. Then to bottom minus 50% and opacity will be 1. So let's look at, okay, and when we click, it's appear slowly, goes slowly, okay, that's good, we did it. Let's look our final project, it also appear. Now what we have to, we actually brought our code, okay, and we make this dynamic and this also. Let's just do our functionality things. Now let's close all this and come to our course.jsx. So what we want? We want to fetch data from API. So for this, we have to use two things. First, we use state for storing our data. Now state and give it a name of data, set data and empty array. Initial value empty array. Then we use effect. Okay. Then use effect. So in use effect, we use try and catch method. So if there is an error, console log this error. Okay. Now in try we use, so we install earlier Axios. Here we use Axios. Okay. So we use Axios and it is automatically imported. Okay. So for get data we use axios.get and paste our URL here. And this URL get you a random code every time you refresh your page. And for this URL, you check our descriptions box you got there. Okay, access.get, then our API. Dot then, don't press it next and dot then we want response and just set data is equal to response.data. There we go. And we use this here. Okay, we got this. And data, where we want this data. We want it here. Firstly, let's look what we got from here. So CLG response.data. Okay, it shows warning because of this data is assigned but never used, never mind. So we don't want it here. So let's just put it here. Data. Okay. We give set data to response.data and we want what is in data. So let's just the user state is not defined. I think we just okay. It's successful. Let's run. So we go in console and just take a look. We have this object and there is author and in content we have a little code. So content and author we got it. Okay, let's go and here we want content and here we want author. So take now this is a console, get rid of this and we want data. So for this example code, let's just add our data dot content and here author. We just want data dot. Okay, let take a look. So here we are. Our but we have our code and its author. But one problem is code is so small we can't see. So let's make it big. But let's refresh it. So when we refresh, we get a new code. It's working fine. Let's increase this size. Now for this H4 we increase the size. Code.scss. Font size is not 12 pixels. We give it 1 then. Okay, let's check. Yeah, it's looking great. Whatever you do in life, surrounded yourself with smart people who will argue with you. That is our code, and the author name is John Wooden. And now we have to make this dynamic, also this dynamic, and also this. For this, let's just check how we do it. So now we have two function. Let's come in clock, and for this static date, we want it from JavaScript. And the icon is here sun, and one more icon. There we go, moon. And for this, we also change moon.svg. Okay, now we use date set. Okay, so const d is equal to new date. Okay, there it is. And now we want hour. So const hours, hour is equal to d dot get hours. Okay, simple. And for minute, we use d dot get minutes. Here we write minute. Okay, so let's use this hour minute. Here we using it. For this, we use first hour and then we use minute. Okay, it gives us real time. Now what we want? I think we want date. So here we use date. So let's just get this and write date and I get date. Now this date give us a real date. Okay, now we looked. I think moon. We just want the moon value assigned. Okay. So whenever we change our background in not we want it here. So just comment it out for now. Then take a look. Just take a look. We have a real time. 10, 5. 22, 5 means 10, 5. And real date. Today is 4. Okay. Today is 4. So 4. Let's just take real date, real day and what day is today's and month. And this, okay, we want this icon. Okay, for this icon we use. Let's just so for weekday, just comment out week name. So we want const. We use a new things. Const options is equal to this array. Okay, this object weekday is equal to long. Okay, then we assign a variable const for day name, which day it is, okay? Then day name is equal to, we want new, then intl dot date format, okay? And date format, here we want, in which language we want, okay? To be English of US. Then we give it these options, okay? So here we give it option. Now we format it, format according to our date, this date, okay, new date. So for day names, we just go and wrap this day name and let's check it out. It's working. So here we are. Today is Wednesday and 4. Now we do January, February like this, not like this. We use different approach. So let's go. So this is our week name now. If you don't understand it, please watch it again. And for month month name, we use const month names. So we uh, just type all the name, okay? January. I'm grabbing it, okay? So I paste it here, okay? Month name, whole month name. Then what we want? Then we want const month index, okay? Which month? Then we want t dot get month. So it's give us index of month, which month it is. It use 0 for January to 1 for February, 2 for March. That's it. Okay. Then we want const month name is equal to month index. We want month name is equal to what this month names. Okay, go through this month name. Oh, sorry, we are not written month names and month index. Which month index is and grab it. So month name, just take it here and put where we want here. So for this here, it gives us month in an index value, or we want this. So just take a look. So here we go, January, Wednesday, 4, got it. Now we want this. Good morning. Today's right now it is good after good night, so we can type it here. So for our greeting message, what time it is? Say good morning, good afternoon, good evening. For this we can use state const time set time is equal to use state. Initially we want empty array, okay? Empty string, not array. Just we use here use effect for this, okay? Use effect for this. Use effect, okay? Just take a look how it is going. Okay, for use effect. Now we want const hour, okay? Hour, I think we assign hour here, okay? Bracket hours. So give it hour, then new date dot get hours. It takes out hours. Okay. So what if what we want? We do have if else condition. So hour if hour is less than 12, okay, which means 12. If less than 12, set time to morning. Okay. Else if not this hour, else if hour is less than 16. I think we don't need of this. Okay, we use hour this hour. Okay, we also use this hour. So if hour is less than 16, it means 4 o'clock, before 4 o'clock. Then we want set time to afternoon. Afternoon. Okay. Now we want else if hour is less than 18 means 6 o'clock, then we want set time to evening. Okay. Else set time to night. I think you understand. If you don't understand, please watch it again. And then what we want? Then we want to assign a variable. Greeting, let greeting to undefined variables. So if if time is equal to morning, if time is equal to morning, just set greeting. Yes, set greeting is equal to morning. Okay. Else if time is equal to afternoon, afternoon, just greeting set to afternoon. Afternoon. So here we are. Good night. It's giving us good night. Okay. Let's also be a dynamic. So to fix this, we give here a dependency of hour. I think now it's fixed. Okay. So I think now it's time to grab this icon. So for this icon, what we want, we use same approach that we used in button. Okay. So for this, where it is, there it is. So let's just grab it in a curly bracket and give it a condition of hour. If hour is greater than or equal to, if hour is greater than or equal to 20 means 8 o'clock, then we want this icon means before 8 o'clock we want not sun before 8 o'clock moon. Okay, and just copy it. And not, if it's not, then give us this sun. Okay, let's change it here. No, I haven't saved. What we have to do, if hour is greater than or equal to 20 means 8. If hour is greater than or equal to 8 o'clock, then give us moon icon, otherwise give us a sun icon. Just take a look. Here we have a beautiful moon icon. So good. We are all set. What we have left? Nothing. So for our background, we want dynamic background, okay? According to time, it also changes. Like according to time, our greeting message changes. So same approach is here. So for this, I want to go and copy. So we use same approach. Let's just grab it and paste it here. So here we go. Just take a look. I explain to you everything. We use a use state. Just let's import this use state here, and we use also use effect as like before. So we get hour, okay, and we set if else conditions. Hour is less than 12, then set time of day. That is set time of day morning. If less than 16, set time of day afternoon. If less than 20, set time of day evening, else night. Okay, and we use a background as we use grading. So background is undefined variables here, and we use same approach. If time of day is equal to morning, then set this background with this URL. Okay. If else time is afternoon, set this background to this URL, this URL, and this URL. Okay. Now we have to style it. So give it an inline style. So style. So we use this style. Okay. For this style, one for JavaScript and second for CSS. Okay. So here we write background image. Hmm, sorry, background image, and background image is equal to, we use JavaScript for this, give it a backtick and URL. For this URL, dollar sign curly bracket, and we use background URL, this URL. Okay, so set this, and for use this, we have to go in app.css and let get out of this. Okay, save it here. We also save this here. So successful. Just have a look again. We use state to set our variables. Okay, to store our data of this. Okay, whenever whenever we whenever our get changes, our background is also changed. So when, if you got somewhere stuck, go and check my descriptions. There is a link of GitHub. You find this code and just find your error. Let's take how it's look. There we go. Our background is changed. And whenever, I think we have also this button. Okay, for this button we also use. So let's take this. Let's take care of this button. For this button, we have to go in code section. Okay, code.jsx component, and where is our button here? Here we use image as a button. Okay, so what we want on click, and we give it a handle refresh. Okay, and what we want handle refresh, just const desire function. So what it's refresh our page. So our code will come as a new. So we write window dot location dot reload. That's it. It's as simple as it. Okay, just take save and take a look. So here we are. Now when we click on this, Our page refresh and getting a new one, new codes. Press it and getting always a new code. So